Good Friday, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Conversations Daily News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. Well, we made it to the end of another week. We, of course, have your news headlines coming up today. We have the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and today in an Entertainment Spotlight, you've been part of my conversation with Cassidy Blackwell of Airbnb, talking about 2021 travel. Enjoy today's broadcast. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Friday headlines. In Mississippi news, 1,210 new COVID-19 cases in the Magnolia State and 24 additional deaths. The Mississippi State Department of Health reported 1,210 new COVID-19 cases and 24 additional deaths. There have now been in Mississippi 278,532 COVID-19 cases and 6,182 coronavirus-related deaths in the state since March of 2020. In more COVID-19 news, United States rushes to catch up in the race to detect mutant viruses. Despite its world-class medical system and its vaunted Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the U.S. fell behind in the race to detect dangerous coronavirus mutations, and it's only now beginning to catch up. The problem has not been a shortage of technology or expertise. Rather, scientists say it's an absence of national leadership and coordination, plus a lack of funding and supplies for overburdened laboratories trying to juggle diagnostic testing with the hunt for genetic changes. We have the brains, we have the tools, we have the instruments, says the director of a virus research center at University of California. It's just a matter of supporting that effort. Viruses mutate constantly. To stay ahead of the threat, scientists analyze samples, watching closely for mutations that might make the coronavirus more infectious or more deadly. But such testing has been scattershot. Less than 1% of positive specimens in the United States are being sequenced to determine whether they have worrisome mutations. Other countries do better. Britain sequences about 10%, meaning they can more quickly see threats coming at them. That gives them greater opportunity to slow or stop the problem, whether through more targeted contact tracing, possible adjustments to the vaccine, or public warnings. CDC officials say variants have not driven recent surges in overall U.S. cases, but experts worry that what's happening with variants is not clear and say the nation should have been more aggressive about sequencing earlier in the pandemic that has now killed over 450,000 Americans. In national news, Trump rejects Democrats' request to testify at impeachment trial. House Democrats on Thursday asked Donald Trump to testify under oath for a Senate impeachment trial, challenging him to respond to their charge that he incited a violent mob to storm the Capitol. A Trump advisor said the former president won't testify. The request in a letter from House impeachment managers does not require Trump to appear, though the Senate could later force a subpoena, but it does warn that any refusal to testify could be used at a trial to support arguments for conviction. The request makes clear Democrats' determination to present an aggressive case against him, even though he has left the White House. Hours after the letter was released, Trump advisor Jason Miller said that the president will not testify in an unconstitutional proceeding. Separately, Trump's lawyers dismissed the request as a public relations stunt. The impeachment trial begins on February the 9th. Trump, the first president to be impeached twice, is charged with inciting an insurrection on January the 6th when a mob of his supporters broke into the Capitol to interrupt the electoral vote count. 5 people died. Before the riot, Trump had told his supporters to fight to overturn his election defeat. In sports, on eve of Super Bowl, Goodell takes a victory lap. The victory lap Roger Goodell took from the podium Thursday in Tampa Bay was hardly unexpected, and surely not unwarranted. He and the NFL have a lot to crow about on the eve of the Super Bowl, and the commissioner's annual State of the NFL appearance was as good a time as any to talk about what went right in the season where a whole lot more could have gone wrong. What was surprising was that Goodell was joined in the celebration by the union chief, whose job is usually to fight against him at every level. Imagine that. A love fest, says the Associated Press, between the union and management breaking out just days before the big game. Surely that wasn't on anyone's bingo card a year ago. And finally, in entertainment news, Ma Rainey and Belzman lead SAG nominations. Chadwick Boseman received 2 nominations from the 27 Screen Actors Guild Awards on Thursday, while the Korean-American family drama Minari and Spike Lee's Vietnam veteran drama Da 5 Bloods were among the nominees for Best Ensemble. The nominees, announced on Instagram Live, differed notably from the Golden Globe nominations announced the day before. While the Hollywood Foreign Press Association spurned films with largely non-white casts in its top awards, the Actors Guild nominated a strikingly more diverse slate of nominees for its first award, Best Ensemble. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's now time for the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich. Mary Ellen, it's all yours.
Hi, this is Mary Ellen with your Truth of the Day. Shake yourself loose from the grip of the ego. The ego's grip is an illusion. It controls your choices. The ego attempts to keep God and your true success away from you. Your ego wants your life journey to pretend to go along peacefully. It allows your motives, judgments, and expectations to guide your intentions. You are perfectly happy with your ego just as long as everything goes your way. Real life just doesn't happen this way. At times, you may find yourself in this happy-go-lucky place when life throws a curveball. This is God's way of keeping you in balance and keeping your ego out of balance. These hard knocks are learning lessons. They are in your life to teach you to choose differently. Stay humbled, letting go of your ego mind. You are a very small part of the world God created, and you exist to aid in the healing of our world. Today, understand joy exists within you, whether things go your way or not, and enjoy the day.
As I mentioned, Cassidy Blackwell is featured in today's Entertainment Spotlight, right here on Conversations Daily News. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with the Entertainment Spotlight. Cassidy Blackwell of Airbnb joined me recently on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about the recent study about what you all are looking forward to when it comes to travel this year. Here's a bit of our conversation.
But what are you noticing, Cassidy, that consumers are hoping to get from their post-pandemic travel this year?
Right. So you're completely correct. It has been quite a year. So let's just set the scene for it. You know, we're coming up on the 1-year mark of the pandemic, having seriously disrupted people's everyday lives. Billions of people around the world have been forced to stay at home. And as a result, people are lonelier now than ever before. And what they're craving more than anything else is to reconnect with their family, their friends, their loved ones. But what we have found is that they want to use travel to do that. So we recently commissioned a survey here at Airbnb that revealed that travel is the number one activity that Americans have missed the most. They miss it more than going to restaurants, more than they miss going to bars and sports and concerts. 54% of people have already booked and are planning to travel in 2021. So we know that travel is going to be back, but we also know that it's going to look a little bit different. And the way that this will look different is we believe that meaningful travel will replace mass travel. And 2021 will be the year of meaningful travel. And what I mean by that is that the type of travel that people have missed the most is visiting their family, visiting their friends. In fact, 41% of people say that this type of reconnection, traveling to visit their family and friends, has become so much more important to them. So what we'll see, Cyrus, is this shift. Instead of people going to crowded landmarks and mass tours, people want authentic and intimate experiences that allow them to spend quality and memorable time with their friends and family. And so that's the type of trend that we expect to continue to see in 2021, this year of meaningful travel, as well as beyond.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning into this edition of Conversations Daily News. We'll be back with you guys on Monday with more news, Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and of course your Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host Cyrus Webb saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Daily News today. Let's make it a great one.